Hello YouTube family, Desiree here with Divine Geomatrix DG Readings. I just want to say what is up, y'all. I know I've been completely MIA. I know that I've been neglecting YouTube and a lot of my social portals. So a little disclaimer, I've been going through it. I've been spiritually overwhelmed, energetically overwhelmed. I have been really looking inward and purging, doing the spiritual work that is needed to clear out space, for new opportunities and spiritual growth. I got sick and I had bronchitis for a couple of weeks, and that really, really took a toll on my breathing. And so it was really hard for me to get around the house and even just breathe. So doing videos was almost near impossible for me. But I'm really happy to be back. I have a few upgrades with Divine Geomatrix as a whole. I've been working on some workshops to bring to the South Bay, South San Diego area shortly. I've also enrolled in a Reiki retreat for my level 1 and 2, and that's going to be in April. So I have a lot going on. Actually, this weekend I will be attending the National City Mariachi Festival in Chula Vista. So I'm super excited. If you guys are from San Diego and are locals, come see me. I'd be happy to help you out. I am taking oracle card readings, but they are by appointment only. I am afraid that with walk-ins, it's a little bit too hectic, especially because I am short-handed, and I only have so many individuals that can help me run my booth. So I unfortunately am crunched on time today. So I did a pre-shuffle for the reading for today, but I'm super excited. I know that I've been MIA. I'm going to be doing my readings a little different. I think a pre-shuffle for my readings might be a little bit more beneficial for me since I am on the go a lot, at least for this week for sure. We'll play it by ear as I go, but I'm really digging the pre-shuffle. So I am going to be using all 4 of my decks. I'm going to start off with the Native Heart Healing Oracle deck, which is this one. It basically focuses on the mandalas and then the vibrations of the chakras. And then we're going to go into the energy oracle cards. Again, I have a pre-shuffle. And then we will head over to the Moonology deck and close it out with a crystal wisdom affirmation. So if you guys aren't familiar with my channel, first of all, I want to say thank you to my subscribers and those who follow me on my channel. And then all my newcomers, what's up? Again, my name is Desiree. I go by Des. And I am an open channel from the Divine to provide you guys the clearest messages that they have in store for the collective. So this reading is for the collective for the week of March 2nd through the 8th. I'm very excited to see what is going on within the energies in the collective, and we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it. So for my newcomers, I like to clear space usually by burning Palo Santo. So I'll go ahead and start off with that. If you aren't familiar with Palo Santo, it's very similar to sage in that it clears out energy within the spaces around you. If you are sensitive to sage, the smell of sage, I would recommend looking for Palo Santo. It is a little bit lighter in the smell, so it's not so potent for those who are a little bit more sensitive. All right. So I finally finished my altar. So this big triangle thing that you see, guys, is my altar. It's amazing. One of these days I'll take a picture of it so that you guys can see on my social media. All right. And some for you guys at home. Alrighty. So another thing that I like to do is I use my my Tibetan singing bowl. Oh shoot. My Tibetan singing bowl to clear some space as well. If you're not familiar with the Tibetan singing bowl, it is also another form of releasing energy and clearing space, but this is basically a musical instrument. All that I ask my viewers to do is just completely breathe in and out so that you can clear that space to receive the messages with an open heart and open third eye. Alrighty. Alright. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Hi, Spirit. Please allow me to be an open channel for the collective. I ask this with your love and light and guidance. Please use me as an open channel to provide any messages that you may have for us. I ask this again with love and light, always. Thank you. Alrighty. So the first set of cards that came out was Universal Love, the Crown Chakra, and Goddess Butterfly. So right off the bat, what I got is that collectively we are definitely moving in toward the idea of unconditional love, not just within the self, but in general, as a whole. So we're learning how to love ourselves wholeheartedly, full-heartedly, and without conditions, and accepting us as our raw, authentic self. But in doing so, we're also showing up for the world to see our authentic self, so that others can therefore be their authentic selves as well. As we're doing that, we're actually opening up our crown chakra and able to really have a stronger connection with the divine on a personal, spiritual level, and also as healers. We are meant to teach and domino effect collectively on how to expand your awareness when it comes down to your spiritual consciousness. So Goddess Butterfly, to me, it talks about basically leading by example, being that domino affecting that change, being the change that you want to see in the world. So as you're really digging internally and doing that work internally, again, you're showing up for the world as your authentic self, and just by doing so, you're domino affecting that collective growth, and eventually you're going to lead into a stage in your life where you're able to educate the community or those around you on what it is that you're doing and why it's been working for you, and why you would recommend opening up yourselves spiritually, so that they too can find that unconditional love and that balance within themselves. The collective card that was at the bottom of the deck is the 4 directions. So this one, it talks about how each direction basically has a specific point or lesson that you need to learn. If I look quickly just to see what those points are, it looks like wisdom is the north, east is illumination, south is innocence, and the west brings introspection. So if you add those 4 together, really what it is you're opening up, finding your light and your purity, your innocence, to provide introspection on the world and wisdom, so that you too can pass that wisdom down. As each generation passes, we are receiving more and more wisdom, and therefore we want to continue with that cycle and be able to pass down all those teachings and history that we were brought up with. Okay? So that's a really good thing, guys. We're really opening up spiritually. I think this is a great time for all of us to really find out what it is that makes us unique and makes us different. Embrace all of them, good, bad, and different, any flaws, any imperfections. Those blemishes really make you your raw, authentic, unique self. There's only one you. There's only one fingerprint, footprint, however you want to call it, that matches you. And you want to own that. You want to own that power, because as you're opening up spiritually, as you're finding out what it is that makes you you, you're wanting to show the world a little bit more on what you can do for the world and how you can make a difference and how you can basically make sure that you've made your mark here in this lifetime. So give yourself a round of applause if you've been doing the spiritual work, guys. Keep it up. The work is never done. But definitely stop and take a moment and thank yourself for continuing to be consistent with it and continuing to be, just consistent with your work and making sure that you're getting this done and releasing the energy that no longer serves, shedding the person that you were to become the person you are, and just really showing up every single day as your raw self. At the end of the day, we are not meant to be perfect, but practice makes progress, not perfection, right? So as we continue to practice ourselves spiritually, it could be, as simple as waking up in the morning and just having moments of gratitude, or meditating on a daily basis for 5 minutes, doing yoga stretches every now and again to make sure that you're aligning your chakras. Whatever it is that you do, it could be as simple as even journaling and releasing that energy on paper, and just doing something to really connect with your spirit. That way other people can see, wow, he or she's doing something that they haven't been doing before, and I can see a difference in their overall mood, their overall aura, their overall energy, and that is very contagious. So spread love and joy just by being you and doing the things that bring you love and joy. All right. So the next deck that we're going to look into is the Energy Oracle. Again, I do have a pre-shuffle with this. So the first card that flew out was Walking Away. It feels like to me that we are walking away from our old selves and carrying that weight with grace. So she is basically closing the gate behind her, and you can tell that she's walking away in her power. You can tell that she's walking away with grace, and she's happy about it. She's looking back, but not necessarily to look back and wanting to go back, but looking back at her progress. Again, praising yourself for doing the work as you're opening up your crown chakra and moving into that idea of unconditional love and universal love. But you're walking away from a situation. It could be, your old self going into your new self. It could be letting go of a relationship or letting go of, stuff that no longer serves you and your highest good. Woman Holding a Heart was next. So to me, the fact that these two cards are kind of, right after each other, it feels like you might be walking away from an old relationship, a relationship with yourself. Maybe the conditions that you've had and limitations that you've had in the past, as you're letting go of those things, of those conditions, of those thought patterns, of those behavioral patterns that your old self brought. You're releasing them, acknowledging them, accepting the lessons, and moving forward with grace. But as you're doing that, you're reclaiming your power, and also you're loving yourself unconditionally. This could be Women Holding a Heart can maybe also signify that you're moving into a new relationship. Again, that could be within yourself, or it could be a new love interest, a partnership, some type of relationship is definitely in store. Goddess of the Moon was pulled out next. So it definitely feels like you're reclaiming your power, finding that spiritual, that spirit within yourself to find out really what makes you different, what sets you apart, and how you can show up not only as that authentic being, but how you can utilize that power to domino effect collective change. So it could be that you're meant to be a teacher. It could be that you're a healer. It could mean that, you're meant to open up so much more on a spiritual level to help the collective grow. Whatever it is, I would definitely recommend connecting with the energy of the moon. If you guys have yet to go to the beach or to a park or something at night, if you have time to do that, I would recommend just going for a few minutes, taking your shoes off and connecting with the grass, with the sand, whatever, finding that grounding sensation, but really connecting with the moon and the energy of it. Meditate a little bit and charge your crystals with it. But the moon has so much energy, and with all of the transitions that we're undergoing as a collective and as individuals, the energy of the moon actually helps those transitions. With the full moon and everything that we've been going through and all of the transitions we've been going through with Mercury in retrograde, there's been a lot of energies that are around us. This should be the last week, I believe, that Mercury is in retrograde. We might have a couple of days after Sunday, but we do have shadow work period after that. So, at the end of the day, like I said, the work is never done. But just always open up yourselves spiritually so that you can continue to do that work. Financial constraints, this ended up reversed, guys. So it feels like you're moving away from financial constraints and limitations, maybe moving into a more abundant state of mind, knowing that you are abundant in all ways, not just in a financial, tangible way, but in an energetic way. Yin and Yang came up next. So yin and Yang talks about balance, balancing out that inward and outward. So definitely looking inward to do that spiritual work, to create the space so that you can be provided those opportunities that the divine wants to provide you. Angel of Balance did come out next, and this was in reverse. So it feels like as the yin and yang and these two come together, it feels like you're learning that you need to do that inner outer work. You're not necessarily at a completely level balance, but it's the fact that you're doing the work and you're willing to really move toward that spiritual awakening and finding the balance not only in your spiritual life, but your physical and mental as well. And then the last card that this one pulled up is the temple path. So it definitely feels like you are spiritually moving toward your opening up yourself spiritually, opening up your third eye. And as you're moving toward what it is that your soul purpose is and your calling, you're realizing that you're not sitting in this energy of lack anymore, and you're reclaiming your power. Therefore the energy is coming to you a little bit more fluidly, and you're not wanting to be in control so much. You're realizing the more you're in control, the harder it is for opportunities to come to you, because you're resisting that flow of what the divine has in store versus what you think the divine has in store. So instead of being so stuck up in your mind, you're releasing a little bit more to what the divine wants you to be doing and what your soul purpose is versus what you thought you were meant to do this whole time. But yeah, releasing control is super important. And with that being said, the collective card at the bottom of the deck is attachment reversed. So it feels like we're releasing that attachment, releasing that resistance, releasing those things that we once were attached to in our old selves and our old behavioral patterns and our old, thought patterns and everything, and being able to move toward this new state of reclaiming your power, reclaiming your authentic selves, and being able to show up for yourself and for the world. Very amazing, guys. This is incredible. So the Moonology pre-shuffle that I ended up getting was Luck is on Your Side. And this is with the new moon in Sagittarius. New moon in Scorpio, work through your fears. Definitely releasing any of those fears or baggages that were holding you back from being successful and being able to tap into that abundant flow that the universe has to offer. And it could be financially, it could be energetically, it could be just remembering who you are and reclaiming that power and being able to see how you're going to show up for the world and how you're going to make your mark here in this lifetime. A new start is coming, and this is a new moon. First quarter moon, which is your commitment is being tested. So it definitely feels that you are waking up spiritually. You're no longer resonating with just the simple 3D way of thinking things, and you're ascending into that 4 or 5D level of thinking, able to manifest a little bit more, able to feed into that law of attraction a little bit more, but you're definitely being tested in regards to your faith. So just remember that everything is going to be okay. All is well. You're being taken care of. There's angels around you, always ready and willing to help you. Just simply ask and you shall receive, guys. Hold your vision. So it feels like we're being called collectively to our our spiritual calling, whatever it is that we came and reincarnated to this lifetime. It feels like we are being called to do something, right? So it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. So definitely feels that maybe this month you haven't been having the best of luck, and you know, really down in the dumps, maybe going through a lot of transitions, a lot of different lessons that are coming to you, and they could be really hard, especially with retrograde. But it definitely feels that as retrograde is starting to leave us and become more direct, I believe on the 10th of March, give or take, it should go redirect. But then we also have a shadow work period. So, you know, the work, like I said, the work is never done, but it definitely feels like you're being tested. You need to hold your vision. Remember your power. Remember, you know, what makes you your authentic self. Keep going back to that and have faith that the divine is always providing those opportunities for you. But you need to continue to create that space so that more opportunities come to you, and then therefore your life is becoming anew. Your life is transitioning into what it is, what you were meant to do from the get-go. So with that being said, I'm going to close this out with our affirmation. So this the opal was pulled for today, and this is signifying joy. My soul sings and dances to the vibration of joy. So I know I didn't bring this up in the beginning, but just because I just did this reading for the week of March 2nd through the 8th doesn't necessarily mean it has to resonate during that week. Time is most definitely an illusion, and energies are fluid, and we are all called to listen to certain messages when we are meant to hear them and receive them. So just because I have this reading up for March 2nd through the 8th of 2020 does not necessarily mean that it has to only resonate during that time period. So I want to thank you guys for being here with me today. I know that this was a kind of a quick video. I apologize that I'm a little short on time, but it's so good to see you guys. It's so good to be here and provide the messages that the divine has in store. I'm so happy that I'm alive and well, and all is well in my life. We are definitely going to start doing some amazing things in the community. I hope that you guys are doing the same and showing up for yourselves and showing up for the world. Definitely move toward that unconditional love, and remember who you are as a spiritual being, and why you're here. So I wish you guys the best of luck this week. If you guys need anything, I'm not that far. Hit me up either via email, which should be in my description box, or you can follow me on my social portals, which also would be in my description box. I hope you guys have a great week with love and light always. Namaste. See ya.